Hi, my name's Tim Engle, and I will be presenting my personal mandala for this Carl Jung class. This is the mandala I put together. Lots of finger painting. I don't think I've given a name to it. I'm not sure if that's something we're doing. But yeah, this is my mandala. Um, it does feel pretty comprehensive the more I'm looking at it and sort of analyzing it. Um, this predominantly, really has themes and um, just emotions going on through color. So, as you can see, predominantly the majority of it is made up of darkness and lots of black swirls, which really does signify just dark periods and sort of the dark night of the soul and diving into the subconscious. That I've been going throughout my life. I just turned 30. Let's see, a couple weeks ago in late January, and it was sort of just a wild moment to look back on my life, just specifically between the time of the ages of 20 and 30, and just seeing all the stuff I've been through and just the obstacles I've overcome. So that's kind of what all these dark patches signify. Up here, let's see if I can do this. Up here, you can see that there's just this sort of field of green and some white in the middle. This green kind of represents my youth, my confidence, my just determination to take on the world, feeling invincible. And I do feel like you can see a little swirls of green throughout as well and some dashes of it. I feel like probably when my life started and when this canvas was first here, everything was just green and white. It was just a field of green and splashes of white throughout. But it's really been taken up by a lot of darkness and challenges in my 20s, which have gone on top of the field of green. The splashes of white, I feel like, to me, indicate spirituality and religion and just my relationship with God. I think when I was younger, specifically just from like ages of 10 to probably 20 or 21, I thought of the white and spirituality just more within the confines of organized religion and the church and Christian writings and teachings, and it's really expanded since then. I think the way I really see God, even though I do consider myself a Christian universalist, while I do see the merit and appreciate religion and following Christ, I think I've kind of broadened my horizons as far as my own spiritual life and my relationship with God, just outside of the church, and having a more personal relationship with God, and specifically seeing beauty and um, love and spirituality through literature, through art, through good conversations with people. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what the white signifies. There's some uh, bits there, and then as you can see, some dots of white in the darkness as well, kind of tinged with green. So just sort of all meshing together, like there is some darkness that I'm still working through and some tough things that I've gone through, but some white and green kind of affecting that as well. And I should probably come to the darkness more up until the age of like eight, I think maybe it was 19. I just felt invincible. I had an amazing childhood, wonderful family, two loving parents, a great brother, a great family dog. And so that's kind of more of this green part, is just feeling great. Everything's great. And then in my freshman year of college, my mom got stomach cancer and passed away in 2010. So I was working through it. It was obviously really, really devastating, and kind of trying to work through that. But I had just some great support, some great friends, family, people to rally around me and help me, and I was still rooted in my faith and just kind of looking to God. But then my brother in 2014 committed suicide in the winter of 2014, and that really knocked me off my feet. I mean, I feel like I never will recover from that. I feel like it, whether I like it or not, was a key moment in my life that just really challenged me, and I feel like I'm still working through it and trying to rise above it and be confident and strong 6 years later. So that was absolutely devastating. My only brother, Aaron, and he was my best friend. So those two key events really contribute to this darkness. And then I feel like, while obviously those are the two big ones, there's been just continued struggles, not necessarily in my life, but just in the world. Obviously Donald Trump becoming president, which is ridiculous still just even saying it, but I guess that was a thing, and obviously that was horrible. And then, I mean, clearly, I don't feel like I need to go on, but the pandemic and just trying to push the Black Lives Matter movement forward and really caring about that, and we've had some really tough obstacles just as a country, and I think as an empath, and probably you can relate as well to the people watching. That's hard not to take that personally. And that's been a struggle for me to still care, but not just be wrecked with emotion all the time, because it's some really tough stuff our country's been going through. So um, I'm sure I'm not the only one, just with all this tough personal loss and personal stuff going on, to go through so many horrible things as a country and to still try to move forward and heal from it. It's dark, and I think it's good to acknowledge that has become part of each of our stories. So that definitely contributes to the darkness. I noticed too there's a little corner of red on the left, and that probably just signifies pain. I'm still kind of winging it with that one. I think I'm figuring it out as I go. One thing I should probably touch on is this corner over here with the blue. I feel like really represents my dating life, romantic life, whatever you want to call it, which has been pretty much non-existent, which is totally cool, but I definitely feel, but it's also not cool, and I feel like sort of an outcast, and like maybe I'm missing out on something where I've had all this tremendous life-altering loss and experience, and yet over here I've tried to be persistent and meet people and kind of hope for just a good partnership or relationship. For whatever reason, it hasn't happened. So I think that was really kind of bumming me out in my 20s. By the time I reached 30, it's actually sort of wonderful, and I feel like I'm really embracing my single life and really living into that and loving it. But for a while there, while there was just the nobility of the blue, continuing to try at this, it just didn't happen. So it's just kind of a small part of me, which I do feel like is probably wrapped up in my sexuality as well. So romantic and sexual life just kind of over here, and kind of flicked with like darkness or red, just to kind of signify a little bit of pain and probably bitterness there, honestly. And then one thing I kind of enjoy, this was a little accidental, but there's sort of like a flying comet of darkness kind of going over. So, darkness below, and I've got some good, just key identity stuff with my green and spirituality with white, but there's still just a little darkness overhead as well. So yeah, I feel like I'm still kind of figuring this out. But as we all know, it's a journey. Um, I mean, even just thinking of the very process of sharing mandalas. I started this Fox program in the fall of 2019, and I remember coming up with these mandalas and sharing it in front of people in a classroom, and just how wildly things have changed. And yeah, we still keep moving forward, but I think the pandemic and just the last year, how it's hit us, has impacted my mandala and probably others as well. So I'm rambling. It's not quite 12 minutes. I haven't managed to kill all of the time yet. But this is me. This is my mandala. I'm very much a work in progress. I think I before I would feel maybe some fear and just anger that so much darkness has taken over my mandala, but now I am sort of embracing it, and I think it is thanks to this class and Carl Jung embracing the shadow self. We've all got shadow selves, and we've all got things to learn from, and yeah, so I've really enjoyed this class, diving into the subconscious, learning more about what that entails, and the courage that comes with facing your darkness and growing from it. So this is me.